Key, are you ready? Bayou Diva, let them know that you're ready. It's Thursday night, they at it again. You got it locked into the ladies then. It's Lady K, Kiki too, plus the Bayou Diva. You know how they do. From breaking news to favorite foods. See what's poppin' in the city, hot topics too. Advice for your issues if you need to grab a tissue. Just wait till a break, they may say something that'll fit you. Amazing guests live on set. You can laugh to your heart's content. They appreciate the love cause it's truly a blessing. My name's Saga Boss and I approve this message.
Ain't no room for hating, enjoy the entertainment. You are locked in to the ladies' den. So there's no confusion, they love what they do. You are locked in to the ladies' den.
The Ladies Den, Thursday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell them Saga sent you.
What's up? What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Ladies Den. The Ladies Den. The Ladies Den. The Ladies Den. We're going to make us another song.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the Ladies Den, y'all. It is Thursday, July 10th, and it is the National Pina Colada Day. Pina Colada Day. So hopefully you all saw my message a little earlier and you all were able to get out and to get you a nice pina colada, or at least a nice cold drink as you tune in with us tonight. As we discuss a couple of things, we really haven't decided what we're going to discuss, but we got like several things on the table, so we just going to pull one out the hat and start talking about what we. I'm like,
we're going to wing it.
We're going to wing it. We're going to wing it. But, so, I do want to feature this vodka. So that's why I told you go like his page so we can tag them so they can send us some more stuff.
Okay.
But I do want to feature this vodka tonight. This brand is called Island John.
Hey.
Okay. This flavor is coconut vanilla. Y'all, when I tell y'all this vodka is everything. Like, I'm not a shot girl, but I will take a shot. Mm-hmm. And if I take a shot of something, I want it to be a little sweet. I'm a sweet drinker. I like sweet, fruity, sweet drinks. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is good for shots by itself. It is so delicious. Oh my God. I'm not bragging, y'all. It is really, really good. And it's not sweet, but it's sweet enough. It's got just that hint of sweetness. Mm-hmm. The coconut, and I'm not a vanilla girl. I hate the smell of vanilla. I don't really care for vanilla, but I like this because for me, my taste buds, I can taste more coconut than the vanilla. Because if I could taste more of the vanilla, it probably wouldn't be the drink for me. But it's my taste buds. Somebody else might taste more vanilla. But y'all, go and check out Island John. He has, wait a minute, let me pull it up. He has several different flavors. He has apple wave. I don't know what that is. He's got mango peach. He's got the coconut vanilla, and he just has a regular vodka. So it's different flavors for you to play around with. I think I'm gonna try the apple one to make me an apple martini. I love apple martinis. One of my favorite martinis. So
like a good martini now.
Yes, I'm gonna probably try that next week. But you guys check it out. Island John, beautiful. I love it. Great taste. And since today is National Pina Colada Day, I just want to show you guys. It might not be a little creamy enough, but I took the Island John and I made me a nice pina colada.
Gotta come through.
I just used some pineapple juice and some cream of coconut, as y'all can see. Yeah, look, don't come for me because I know it's in a margarita glass. Okay.
It don't
So
matter.
we're gonna have a margarita pina colada. No,
There you go.
it's in my margarita glass, but
Pina colada margarita. There you go.
y'all, y'all, y'all,
You like it? It's good.
y'all. I made it before tonight, so I can make sure that it was, it'll work. But it's really good. Y'all gotta try it. It's only the Island John coconut vanilla vodka with
Mhm.
cream of coconut and pineapple juice. Y'all gotta try it. It is delicious. All right, Lisa K, what you drinking on boo?
So, I did not get a pina colada because, as I was telling Bayou Diva a little bit earlier, I've never been a fan. However, I love me some vodka, so I'll be trying Island John at some point. But no, I got a Stella Rosa black in the can.
Oh,
Stella Rosa
and
black in the can.
I didn't know they come in the can.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh my! Where did you find that? Because I had no idea that Stella Rosa Black or any Stella Rosa comes in the can.
Yes. Actually, they come in the can like this, but then they also have the bottles, little small cute bottles. I bought several of them recently. But yeah, this is really good. It's made with real fruit juice or real fruit flavor, it says. It's a low alcohol content though. So it's like it's just enough. I would put this like maybe a new age what we used to drink back in the day the coolers.
Oh, the
This would
wine coolers,
be wine coolers.
Seagram's wine coolers,
This would be like a new
like
age
I was
wine
drinking
cooler.
last week. The Seagram's.
Yes, yes. This would be like a new age wine cooler. Cause this is just tastes like juice to me. But it's good. It's good. It's a tasty juice. So shouts out to Stella Rosa Black. Appreciate you.
Okay. Well, y'all, listen. You guys know every week we try to feature a different beverage. Um, we're definitely looking for a beverage sponsor. So if you have a beverage that you want to be featured on our show, please, 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 please just hit us up. You can email us at the ladiesden23@gmail.com, or you can message us in the Ladies Den Facebook Messenger. I mean, it could be anything: water, wine, alcohol, tea, lemonade,
Whatever.
whatever beverage you have, any kind of beverage you have. Of course, we like the liquor, but hey, we'll take the other stuff too.
Oh my God.
Especially if you have something new that you're trying to get out there. We will definitely feature it for you. So hit us up. We need some new beverages. We're running out of beverages that we had in the pocket, from before. So we need to definitely get some new sponsors to sponsor us some good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. For
Why
sure.
is it not? Oh, am I on? You know I can't do nothing, girl. Y'all, I just don't know how to. I don't
What you
listen.
gonna do?
I am not technical, people.
Oh, here we go. What are you
I'm
trying to do?
I'm trying to put this on my page, and then I'm trying to tag people and do stuff because it won't let me, and it won't let me do nothing. And I'm just, I'm over it. Yeah, y'all. I'm not technical, so hey, it is what it is, and it is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say. It is what it is, and it is what it is.
What it is. Got you.
And it is, and it is. It is.
I cannot.
I need to take a class, or I don't know. And the crazy part, y'all, my wife has a master's degree in IT, but she can't teach me because my nerves and her nerves together while she trying to teach me, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Yes.
B
Yes.
is very patient. It's not her, it's me.
Uh-uh.
My nerves. It'll be my nerves, not hers. She's very, very patient. I'm just not the
Yeah,
patient girl.
that's what I
So
was. That's
it ain't
what I was.
her. It's me. It ain't
You
her, it's
probably
me.
are hard to teach, ma'am.
Not that I'm hard to teach. It's my nerves.
Mm-hmm.
My nerves.
Right.
I'm a fast learner. I catch on fast.
Once you
But if
listen.
I can't get something, I'm aggravated and I won't do it no more. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, she can't teach me. I would have to get somebody, yeah, somebody else who know me, who I gotta pay probably, would have to teach me some things that I don't know. But just not technical. I'm sorry. Like you do all that. I can't. I just my nerves. I can't think. Yeah, no. Anyway,
Okay.
I really. So what we gonna talk about first?
I
You want to
mean,
do the flu? Okay. So this is something, you guys, that's been on my mind. I'm gonna pull it up so I can read exactly what it said. So a couple
what's
of weeks
the site?
ago,
Give me the site so I can pull it up.
okay, a couple of weeks ago, my wife and I were visiting some of her family in Natchez, Mississippi. And we were talking about, of course, we're big Saints fans. Well, I am. My wife is a Saints. We're both from New Orleans, but she's a Saints fan when they're not playing Dallas because she's more of a die-hard Cowboys fan than she is a Saints fan. So we're definitely a house divided, which is crazy to me. There's a story behind it because she's from New Orleans, but there's a story behind why she likes Dallas and in love with Dallas so much. So it is what it is. But anyway, we were in Natchez, Mississippi. We were in Natchez, Mississippi. We were talking about the Saints. Someone brought to our attention about
Mm-hmm.
the symbol
Mm-hmm.
for the New Orleans Saints, which
Mm-hmm.
is the fleur de lis. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people can't say that word, but it's fleur de lis. So before I get into what it is, it's like even and anybody who knows me, I've said it before. I have not always been a diehard Saints fan. I've been a Saints fan. But back in the days when we
Mm-hmm.
were wearing bags over our head, I was not a fan. And I'm just telling it like it is. And anybody know I wasn't. So this was in like the early 80s, 80s, mid 80s, when we never won a game. They were wearing bags over their head and all that stuff. I was not a fan. I didn't become a fan
Oh.
until we started to do better, which has been over 30 something years, you know. But I've even before that, I've always loved that fluid de symbol. I loved it. And again, I've seen it on shirts, lamps, vases. I mean, clothes, sofas, dining room tables. I mean, I've seen pictures. I've seen that sign everywhere, that fluid de lis everywhere. I have a picture in my living room wall with the fluid de lis, but it has like blessings and something like it has spiritual stuff on it.
Yeah.
So somebody brought to our attention that the fleur de lis is a sign of slavery. So Nisa, when I found it, I put in what significance does the fleur de lis have with slavery, and the whole thing came up. So it wasn't a particular site; it was just like a Google search.
Uh-huh.
Um, so the guy told us,
Okay.
because he was kind of like he couldn't believe it either. So the significance that the fleur de lis has with
Okay.
connection with slavery is when a slave ran away and came back, or they got them back, or they caught them, they branded them with the fleur de lis sign. And that brand was to let people know that they ran away. So they might have 4, 5, 2, 3 fleur de lis signs branded in their skin, and other slave masters or slave owners, they knew if they got sold to someone else or something like that, they knew that they had escaped before. So here's my
Wow.
thing and my question. I still really don't know how to feel about that. I love the fleur de lis sign. It's a pretty sign and it looks good on so many photos and things of that nature. But now that
Uh-huh.
I know what it's attached to, I don't know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, you guys know there were no black slave owners back in the days, so they were all white. I mean, there were
That was
some,
some
but that
black.
that came
That
after
was
a
some,
time.
a
But that's
majority.
what I
Yeah.
said. There were some, very few, but that came after a long time. But
Right.
like, why pick this sign to brand these slaves? And then I'm wondering if the owner of the New Orleans Saints knew he's white. I'm pretty sure he knew. But why would you pick this symbol? And I can't really say that he did it because they were black. Because when football first started, it was more white players than black
It
players.
was it was all white players.
It
Yeah.
right. So, I don't think they would pick it to use it on the white player, for the
Mm-hmm.
white players. So it's like my mind just all over the place with it. So, I'm wondering if people know that this symbol they might have in their homes or in their cars or on their person. I wonder how they feel if they really knew what this symbol means.
Well, that's just along the lines of how the Braves ended up changing their logo, whatever. Once the Native Americans was like, "Hey, yeah, we don't want you to do that anymore," and then they do the whole chop thing. Like it's like once you figure out the history behind some stuff and what stuff really means, you might change it, then again you might not. And with that, like you would have to take it all the way back to the original creator of the Saints, the original owner.
And we looked, but it was no, hey Kiki, it was no significance there of him
You
and the team and buying the team from the guy he brought the team from.
mm-hmm.
But and that goes back to what you said too, because just like the Washington Redskins, that's why they
And
just
the
had to change their
Redskins
name
too,
to
yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, them too,
So
yeah.
I wonder if some of these teams actually know what their their symbols
Their origin.
actually mean.
I think it was a thing. I think it was more so. This is just me speculating. I think it was more so. It's like they didn't really put any thought into it. Like, oh, this sounds good. Let's name it this, and then
But it's
that's
not
it.
the
Not
name,
even
it's the
thinking.
symbol.
Well, yeah, that too. Because with the Saints, it's just the symbol itself. But like you got the Redskins and the whatever. But I think it wasn't. I think they didn't really think too much about it. It's like, boom, let's use this symbol. And then that's it. Because nobody really cared too much about what it would mean to other people. To be honest, like nobody really cares about our history. They're still trying to make us hide it now. They don't care if they really don't care that you just found out what the fleur de lis was used for in slavery.
Yeah,
They don't
they
care.
probably don't.
If you found out or anybody else found out, or if we even talking about it, they don't care that it was used to brand slaves when they ran away, because that's a part of American history that they're proud of. They really don't care. They just do what they do. That's just
And it says the first owner of the New Orleans Saints was John Meekum
like Sheila.
Jr.
Mhm.
He became the majority stockholder and the president of the franchise after the NFL awarded New Orleans its 16th franchise on November 1st of 1966, which was All Saints Day. Meekum purchased the team for $8.5 million, according to EBSCO. He later sold the team to Tom Benson in 1985. But again, like you said, he probably didn't think about that, or you know,
Oh,
you know, I don't know. It's just something to
what was
think about.
happening in 66? What was happening in 66? When was the civil rights movement? When was that?
Hold on.
When was the civil rights movement? Let me see.
Wait a minute. When was it? Shit. Hold on. I'm typing one thing and I'm thinking something else. So it says, so then this is crazy because it says the original symbol for the New Orleans Saints, the fleur-de-lis, was created in 1967 by local artist Milt Joffrey. According to Sports Logo History, he designed a simple black fleur-de-lis to represent the city's French heritage and ensure it was easily recognizable. The fleur-de-lis has been a symbol of New Orleans and French royalty for centuries. But then how can you be a symbol of French royalty and I can understand New Orleans, but French royalty when you were using it to brand slaves? That's confusing to me.
It's not confusing at all. It was the royalty, the people that own the slaves. They same people. Them the same people. And
Well,
how
you
you
asked
gonna
me when was
something
what?
that
When
was
you asked
already
when
being
was
used?
you said when was what, Nisa?
I was thinking of like the he said they bought the first part about the Saints was 1966. Civil rights movement was somewhere between 54 and 68. So you using a symbol that was used to brand runaway slaves. You started everything in 66, right when they were our mama and them was in their teens, youngsters, in
So
segregation happening and all of that. They didn't care nothing about that.
the civil rights movement was between 1950s and 1960s.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's my point about they didn't care. They didn't really care.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody said, hey, back in the day, they had been like, whatever. They don't care.
Yeah, they really don't. They didn't run. I don't know. It was just kind of like, you know how you get one of those moments, like, wow, didn't know that.
Right.
I mean, and it won't change anything, but it just kind of makes you stop and think, like, who did this? Did they even know? What were they thinking about? And why would they use this? But like I said, when you think back, there were no black football players when the NFL first started. So I'm not sure the meaning behind it. But then they're saying this guy designed this, but they were using this for slaves way back before then.
Exactly. How you gonna design
So
something?
yeah, how you gonna design something that was already out there?
Is he kin to Columbus? Cause what?
Because
Discovering
y'all taking credit for
designing
shit
stuff
y'all ain't do.
that is already there.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it though. I really don't.
I'm not surprised. I mean, the French are the ones that had the Haitians there and some Native Americans as slaves. So
Right.
I mean, it's a whole separate slave trade that had to do with that part of the world. What was it, the Louisiana Treaty and all of that? Lord, mercy. So I'm not surprised. It's kind of sad, but I'm not surprised.
It is. And then it's such a beautiful design when you see it on different things.
It is.
It really is. And it's like, man, but they use why this symbol? I guess that's my, y'all know me with the why. I got to know why. But it's like, why this symbol? Why not you could have just used the cross, you could have used the line, you could have used anything. Why this symbol to brand slaves? What significance did this symbol have to slave owners or slave masters that all of them use this particular symbol? And of course, nobody can answer that question, but in my mind, that's
No.
my thought. Like, what
My mind.
prompted you to use this symbol? There's so many more symbols out there. Why this one? And then why choose this one to represent the New Orleans Saints? Why choose this one to represent the New Orleans Hornets? Why use this symbol to represent any NFL, NHL, NBA, any sport that has to do with New Orleans? This symbol that was used to brand slaves for running away.
Mm-hmm. No,
I just
child.
want to know how people feel about it. If you have anything fleur de lis in your home or something that you like that has a fleur de, how do you feel about it knowing that it was used for that particular purpose?
Mm-hmm. I don't like the Saints, so I would never have it in my home.
And see, but I'm saying, and it's okay, but had that not been the symbol for Saints, I know plenty of people that fans of other teams, but they have fleur de lis things in their home because they like it.
Yeah. It's a pretty design. It is. I agree. I'm just joking around about the Saints when I'm not. I don't like them. But yeah, no, I do like that design. I agree. But that's why I said it's really sad that that's the history. That's the background of it.
Right.
But again, being that this is America, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of stuff that we have used, have talked about, and everything on a regular basis that has some sort of slavery background.
Yeah.
That we never knew about because we never took the time beyond the history of stuff that we've been taught.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Because nobody, you will never hear about that in any class in Louisiana. I bet you that.
No.
Unless you went to college
not.
and you took a Black history course in college, maybe you might hear about it then. But in high school,
yeah, they will never teach that. But I just thought that was interesting to bring to the den and kind of see. Kiki, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Hey,
good
darling.
Ladies, how y'all doing? As you guys are actually talking about it, I was reading because, of course, you have to be digging pretty deep to pull that out because it's saying nothing about slaves from what I'm reading because I wanted to know the breakdown and the meaning of the fleur de lis. And it talks about the different cultures, organizations, representations of the Virgin Mary, wisdom, chivalry, purity, and then the three petals of the fleur de lis are frequently interpreted as representing the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. All of these.
Yep.
And it's almost like it's being a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, okay, you said it means this, but it means this. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said,
before you came on, Kiki, I'm sorry, but before you came on, I was saying that we were talking about football. And one of these mom's cousin mentioned it to us, like, I know what you talking about. The fleur de lis, it means this, it means that, it means royalty, it means this, it means, Father, Son. I know that part. But he said this is what somebody told him, and he had to look it up. So
Mhm.
we actually looked it up right then. So that's how I got to
Mhm.
dig deeper into what it was. Because if you look up just fleur de lis, what it means, it's going to
Uh-huh.
give you all the things that you said.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I looked at it as far as football. It says it symbolizes the lily flower.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so a lot of it is gonna be hidden,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, because like I said, they don't want you to know your history. They don't want
Mm.
to, they don't want it to be brought out that this symbol actually represents you know, the branding of slavery, the branding of
Mhm.
our, you know what I'm saying, our ancestors.
Ancestors.
You know,
Yep.
they're not, of course, they're not gonna put that out there. So
Mm-mm.
somebody really has to be digging or know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody
Right.
Hmm.
in order to go back and pull that. And that is just that's, you know, it is like you say, it's kind of like a what do you do? Because you know it's the representation, because you know everybody that flaunts the New Orleans Saints,
Mhm.
you know, and then you got, you know, the symbol, the saint. So that's the
Mhm.
fleur de lis right there, because it's, you know, it has the saint, you know,
Hmm.
symbol.
Mhm.
And nobody's saying, you know, like you're saying, check the history. Nobody's talking about the really background of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
knowing this, you know, like you said, would people really, you know, make a change? Would people really make a stand to say, you know what, I'm not wearing that no more. I'm not going to represent the saints anymore because of, you know, what the symbol means. You know, like you all were saying with the Washington Redskins, you know, with the Indians, they actually fought to have that changed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it has to be feet on the ground. You know, somebody has to say, hey, you know, this is not right. This is a misrepresentation, and speak on it. If nobody speaks on it, with the exception of us three ladies right here and
Right.
the person that you said found it, nothing will ever be done about it. And people will say, you know, why now? You know, I mean, I'm not finna change what, you know, what I got going on now. Why?
Yeah.
I'm not finna shut
Yeah.
everything down in my house because of, you know what I'm saying, some information that y'all just finding out. I'm not
Just
finna do
finding
that.
out.
Right.
Right.
So I think it's personal for those individuals that
Hey, sincere. Hmm.
you know, the only thing we can do is like we, you know, like we do all the time. Only thing we can do is put the information out there,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's up for other people to decide, you know, what they're going to do with that information.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the folks just now tuning in, what we're talking about right now so passionately is Bayou Diva and her wife, shout out to V, go Cowboys.
Mhm.
Went to go visit
Roll
some
Tide,
Really?
roll
and
tide.
went to go visit some in-laws,
Really?
and they found out that a part of the meaning of the fleur de lis, which is the, I can't lie, very beautiful symbol that's used by the New Orleans Saints, that a part of the meaning or use of it was a brand that was put on runaway slaves. And this part that I pulled up right here is talking about what would happen to a slave. It said he would be taken before a court, and the sentence would be being a branding on one shoulder with the fleur de lis, and then they would crop their ears, you know, like they do Dobermans, crop
Like they
their
Hmm.
do
ears.
dogs. Yeah.
And then they said if the slave ran away a second time, he would be branded again, but then they would cut his hamstring.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but again, what is the meaning? Why would they crop the ears? I mean,
I
so
don't know.
it's like it's a lot of underlining.
It
You know,
is. It
it's
is.
a lot that you would have to literally pull back to say, you know what? Yeah,
Right. Because now you cropping ears and then you cutting
you
hamstrings.
know,
See, I
it's
didn't
one
even read
thing.
that far.
It's one thing to brand them, you know, and
Right.
then it's
Right,
branded, but somebody may look at them and say, "Damn, that's a nice tattoo." Of you got the fleur de
right.
lis tattooed on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying, and not
Yes.
realizing that you have to check the history. No, sir, it wasn't. I didn't do this voluntarily. This was done to
Right.
me because, and
And
for
and
this,
listen, look at this. It was a brutal way of scarring someone to identify them as a troublemaker.
so
Mhm.
are you telling them that if you crop their ears, that's trouble? You know what I'm saying? Do they consider Dobermans as trouble? You know, it's a lot. Just if you want
Yeah,
to really dig
I
into
mean,
it.
they consider them property, so they count
right,
them as animals and for the
right.
census.
Yeah,
So it's no different
but
than
but
cropping
again,
the ears of a dog.
why the Doberman?
Hey,
I mean,
And
I
that's
don't
all
know.
I'm.
That's
No,
Dobermans
no, no.
are
I
the
know we
ones
don't.
that
I'm
get
just saying.
their ears cropped, but
I'm
I
just
mean, yeah,
saying.
why?
Being technical, why this dog?
I
Why
do
would
that.
you choose the Doberman as a representation? Because that's them the only ones, with the exception of a pit bull,
Yeah,
that
it's
has
a couple of them that get their ears
that you
cropped,
get
but I'm
the
just
ears
saying, like,
with.
but here's my thing. Why brand anyway? There is another way that they could have said or put something out there to let people know that this slave is a troublemaker, is a runaway. Why do you feel like you got to put some metal on a hot fire and burn some, excuse me, and
because
burn somebody with it?
Well,
that let that slave know that if they ran away or anybody else get the idea to try to run away, this is what's gonna happen to you. It's gonna be real painful, and you're gonna come back with this mark. And the people
okay,
that
well,
catch them know that mark, know who to take them back to.
but
Not
look at this
necessarily
though.
if they all used it. These were all slave masters. It just wasn't one
True.
slave master that used this. All
Mhm.
of them used it. So they just know that they're a
That's true.
runaway.
But
That's
look
true.
at the Qs. The Qs brand themselves.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Qs brand themselves.
They do.
And I wonder what they symbol mean. I don't even know what they symbol means. But you know, I just a thought, something to talk about. Like, yeah, why you branding people? Like, you literally, once you catch them, you are literally gonna take the time to take a piece of metal, go make it hot, make
Mhm.
them wait while it get hot enough to
Mhm.
stick it on their skin and burn them.
And they're the only ones that
Yeah.
brand themselves, as far as I know.
As far as I know, too. As far as I know,
The
too.
hazing. Yeah, Lenitra, the hazing and the hazing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, you know, when
They
you
do.
know, when we're talking about being slaves
Yeah.
and them, you know, branding the slaves and knowing, you know, hey, I know, hey, this is who this is, whatever. I know who this person belongs to, whatever the case may be, with the
Yeah.
branding. Then we have a fraternity, you know, and hey, I nothing against them, you know, because you know, cute out, but nothing against them, but they are the only ones that brand themselves, as far as I know, with the symbol. And you know,
Yeah.
most blacks, African Americans, we keloid.
Yeah.
So most of them are like huge, you know, big and because they keloid.
Yeah.
So what is, like you said, what's, if we have to really dig deep, we have to really go into the branding period. What is it
Yeah.
symbolizing when you're
Yeah.
branding?
When you're branded. Yeah.
That's true. That is very, very
Yeah.
true.
You know, it just caught me by surprise. And I just thought maybe it was something that we could discuss quickly. And
Definitely.
just, you know, and the crazy part is, like he said, there's so many positive things behind the symbol.
Mhm.
Then, and like she said, you got to dig deep, because if you just look up Fleur de Lis, you're going to see all the great
You're not
things.
gonna see what we're
All
talking
the
about.
beautiful pictures, the different ways of Fleur de Lis is made, like all the beautiful Fleur de Lis. You
Mhm.
have to really dig deep to find that information.
And that's
Yeah.
all you
So
see
is
on
the
Mardi Gras.
information intended to be hidden?
Yeah, that's all you
Well,
see doing Mardi Gras. It's that symbol.
Yep.
It's the Fleur de Lis. It's that symbol. It's New Orleans. It's attached to New Orleans, which
Yep.
is attached to the royalty. You know what I'm saying? The history, the Virgin Mary, and all of the beauty of
Yeah.
it. But what
And
happens when you start to unfold those layers and you
Right.
saying, "Hey, Pookie,
We got
Hey,
company.
Hey, puppy.
Say hi. Look how she's looking. Say hi.
Puppy.
This is Miss Bella. Say hi. Hi,
Hi,
Bella.
Bella."
Can I do
Bella.
my show now? Can I
Bella's
finish?
baby. That's
Look,
Bella's
she's
baby.
just looking. She know. You
Bella's
gonna let me
baby.
do my show?
Oh.
Is you gonna let me do my show? Can you say bye bye? Say bye bye. Say I got to
If I could
go.
have a puppy, Lord Jesus.
Say
I can't get one.
hi. All right. Say bye bye. Gotta go,
Too cute.
girl.
Mm-mm.
Too bad. Oh my god.
Like
But
this last paragraph says, the fleur de lis was the symbol of a monarchy, like Kiki just mentioned. It said the United States of America was a slave-holding republic, not just the South. Where do you stop? Do you get rid of all symbols?
Hey,
oh well, now.
Because and that's why we were talking about earlier, Diva. It's so much stuff here in America
that's
that
attached to all
probably
to
has
that type of thing.
a
Yeah,
bad background if we dig deep enough. Like, well, for a minute they were getting rid of some of the statues, and then
Yeah.
with the Confederate flag, they were getting rid of stuff like that. But then you have folks that's try to argue that. But a Confederate flag means this. No, it actually was tied to slavery, sir, ma'am.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, and like I said, we want to be real honest and talk about the truth. Everything, majority of everything is tied to slavery.
It is.
It's tied. Look, no pun intended. Pun intended. Tied. To us.
Tied to slavery.
Yes.
And right
And,
now, if you watch the Dukes of Hazzard,
Yes.
what was the
Yes.
name of the car? The General Lee.
The
What
General,
was
yeah.
all over the General Lee? The
Yep.
Confederate flag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was just, but we didn't know.
We
It was
did
right there in our faces, but it was a distraction. See, a lot of
It
this stuff
was.
even with nowadays, everything right
absolutely
now is a
was.
distraction, and nobody is really checking for anything. You know, if
Right.
it looks good, if it smells good, that's what I say. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and acts like a duck, quack
It's
quack.
a sheep. It's a sheep.
Right. Sincerely,
Believe
even
it's
the
a sheep.
military
Hey.
bases changed their names. Fort Benning to Fort Moore name. It is supposed to be going back to
Going
Fort
back to
Benning.
Yeah, dude that's currently in office is now reversing the names of everything that was changed when they were changing stuff over. That was, stuff that was attached to slavery.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
he's
the
going through
meaning
that process.
behind? What's
And
the
some of
meaning
the
behind
ships
Fort
too.
Benning?
Some of the naval ships too that were changed. He's working to change the names back to the original names. Yeah, I don't like him.
But so we're still trying to make America great again. Is that what we're doing?
Oh, so listen.
According to
Fort
him, yes.
Benning was initially named in honor of Confederate Brigadier General Henry L. Benning.
There you go.
However, in 2023, the base was renamed Fort Moore in honor of Lieutenant General Hal Moore and his wife Julia Compton Moore. In March 2025, the base was renamed back to Fort Benning, but this time in honor of Army Corporal Fred G. Benning, a World War I soldier, according to the U.S. Department of Defense, and in parentheses, they have government.
Yeah, nah, that's a
so it's already been renamed since there went back in March of 2025.
But now they saying it was named after a whole different person who just happened to have the last name of Benning.
Right.
Yeah.
And considering the fact that dude that's currently in office has kicked out all of the valid people from the leadership in the government and just threw Pookie them in there that have no real qualifications.
Oh, wait, no. Listen to this. Listen to this. They said in 2023, The base
Uh-huh.
was renamed Fort Moore, honoring Lieutenant General Hal Moore and his wife Julia Compton Moore to address racial injustice and remove the Confederate namesake.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So now it says in March
Yeah.
of 2025, the base was renamed back to Fort Benning, but this time the name War Hero to comply with a law prohibiting bases from being named after Confederate figures.
Kind of.
So he put it back to
Okay.
that name because bases were saying they didn't want any Confederate figures, the bases being named after any Confederate figures, and that was all probably during of what's his name? What Obama and what the other one? Sleepy Joe.
Biden.
Right.
Biden.
But it was already named after somebody that wasn't connected to Confederacy.
Right.
But he
But
was
he's
black.
saying, but I guess he changed it back because I guess he can change that law. He can change that law and said now that it can be named after somebody Confederate or somebody that's not. But because he is who he is, he's going to make sure that it's somebody Confederate named after these military bases, or at least this particular one.
Okay.
Sincere said they spent all that money changing signs. They are still charging the signs, changing the signs back.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but he claimed we in billion-dollar deficits, but he's still continuously spending the country's money on stupid stuff. But hey, he's the president. He can do what he
They
wants.
just signed that doggone billion-dollar
Beautiful.
BS deal.
The big, beautiful
beautiful.
bill.
The
Yeah.
big beautiful BS.
Bull,
Giving-
that's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
Giving all the rich people extra money, cutting Medicaid, and they talking about, well, what do they say? Something about the quickest way to Medicaid is to get a job. How you supposed to get a job if you can't work?
But listen, here's the kicker. All these people that's getting food stamps. Now I'm a little biased with the food stamp thing and the welfare, hey.
Never get food stamps.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts. Well, I ain't gonna lie. When I was in my 20s and I had I was getting food stamps. Now I wasn't getting the welfare because I always worked, but I did get food stamps. I did get WIC. I got all that shit when I was in 19, 20 years old. I did get that stuff when I had my first son. But my thing is now on the big, beautiful bill, you have to work 80 hours in order to get food stamps. First of all, if you're not going to change the household income, if you working 80 hours, you still ain't going to give me no food stamps because I can work 80 hours.
Right.
So, but according to the big, beautiful bill, you have to work at least 80 hours to get food stamps. So guess what, y'all? We're going to have a lot of homeless people on the street, a lot of hungry people on the street. There are just some people who can't work now. For these women that's out there just popping these babies out because they want food stamps and they want welfare and they can work and don't want to go to work, I have no sympathy for those. None at all.
Yeah.
But if you can go to work at least a few hours and try to help your family, by all means, then do so.
Yeah.
So
but
if you work 80
every household
hours,
and every family has a story.
So if you work 80 hours, then how much food stamp? How much food stamp?
It doesn't say, but it says that that's what has to happen for you to even qualify for food stamps now. Now, I don't know the part about the actual welfare, like the monetary part of it, the money part of it. I didn't read that part. I read some of the other stuff about the Medicare and the Medicaid, and the food stamps, and I just got aggravated and I stopped reading it. Then it talked about the colleges, like he's cutting federal funding for college. So you're gonna have to get state loans and grants and stuff that are being offered in your state You won't
But
be
again,
able to
that
get.
sounds like you want everybody to be in a deficit. That sounds like you want everybody to.
But he
It's
said it,
chaos.
and these people still voted for him.
He
He all
did.
but said he want to make the rich richer, and he's gonna
Yeah.
make the poor people poorer. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's cutting
He's
federal
doing
grant
exactly.
money, federal loans. He's cutting all that stuff.
Everything
So
is
if
going
your
to the
state
state.
doesn't offer any grants or any type of, education funding, a lot of
You
people are going to
SOL.
start dropping out of school. A lot of people are not going to be able to go to school. So here now we're talking about high school students graduating from school, trying to go to college. Their family can't afford to send them to college, but they want to go to school. Now you have no money. You have nothing to pay for college. So now what do? Here we go. Boys on the street, girls on the street. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. So what do?
Crime
Parents of
gonna start
children
going up
14
because
or
they gonna
older
be out
to
there
meet
trying to
work
get it how they
requirements.
live.
Yeah. It cuts nutrition funding by nearly $200 billion. To replace that food, we would essentially have to double our volume overnight. And that's not, he worries families will be forced to start making difficult decisions. And they are. One thing
Yeah.
that this man up in that building, he know and he understand about Black people. If he don't, he gonna find out. We will make it happen.
We've been
Anything.
making it happen.
But that's what I'm saying.
We've been making it
We
happen.
will make it happen, and some of them will go by any means necessary. But we will make it happen. So
It's the other
he
people that don't know how.
right.
It ain't us.
But the
It's the
thing is,
other folks that's stressing.
he's putting the African American community in a position where they have to fight. If I'm
Well,
saying that without saying it, because I don't want nobody coming for me. I don't want ICE knocking at my door. But he's putting African American people in a position where they have to fight.
oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is.
So, they're not eating at home and can't. He done cut free lunch. There's no
Yeah,
free lunch.
that's what
Yes,
Sincere
he
was
cut
saying
that. There's
earlier.
no more free lunch. There's no more free breakfast. He cut all of that. So those kids who were only eating at school, now they might not eat at all.
Yeah.
She said she know 2 people that got laid off work yesterday and today.
Oh wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, but then
They closing down medical facilities.
Yeah, and because and just
I know.
think about all of the kids. I work at a pediatrician.
Right.
Majority of those insurances are Medicaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now they can't even go to the doctor.
So they're not going to be able to come to the doctor because their Medicaid is about to be cut off.
Right.
So like V was saying, is basically he's telling the American people, get off your ass and do something, which everybody cannot. But he doesn't care about the ones that can't.
They can't.
So,
right.
And what he's saying is, it's no longer V. Go get her, please, because she's crying. I don't know why she's crying. So what he's saying is, and he said it, the federal government will no longer take that responsibility. So now all of this is going to fall on your state level people.
Right. Yeah. 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 But one thing they were talking about, the states that are considered donor states, they were saying since all of this shift is happening, now instead of those states sending that extra money that they have been sending, they gonna hold it and keep it because now they gonna need it to take care of the people that he's now pushed off on them since he's cutting federal funding for a lot of stuff. So that's gonna mess up all the states that depend on that extra money that comes from the few states that were considered donor states. Now they stuck.
Yeah.
Now what?
But can you guys just imagine, like, he hasn't even made it to his first year. He's only what, 6 months in? 7, 8, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't remember. 6. He's only 6, 7 months in.
Yeah.
And we have 3 years and 5 more months to deal with this man. This world, this state, this country, I mean, is gonna be a shit show. And the person that comes in office after him will never be able to undo what he's done in the 4 years that they're there.
If we have another election, because he swore he was gonna change it up to where we would never have to vote again. Meaning he would not be leaving office.
Right.
Yeah. What?
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm laughing at what you just said. That is some funny shit. That is hilarious. Like, dude, seriously?
Yeah. Yeah. But he said that was like his one.
Oh, he said there will be no more after him, like he's Jesus.
That was part of his campaign slogan. You'll never have to vote again once you put me in office.
Whew. I'm not drinking to that. I'm just drinking.
Right.
Look, okay. Listen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, we don't normally like to discuss politics on this show because, we just don't. But it just so happens that we dove into a little politics with the first subject we were talking about. I really don't like to discuss politics and religion because everybody has their own view and everybody feel how they feel about certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
But I just try not to discuss those kind of things because I just don't.
Yeah,
but we will
the way
touch on
stuff
some
is
things
going,
when it's necessary.
yeah, we need to put some
But
information out there.
yeah, we just try to put the information out there for everybody. Like anybody that's on food stamps, you need to know what's going on. There's so many
Yes.
people who haven't even heard of this big beautiful bill yet. Because if you're anything like me, I watch the news, but I don't watch the news, if that makes
I
sense.
don't watch it no more.
I don't do politics. And I've said this on our show before. If I'm finding out anything political, I'm hearing it from my wife because she want to know what the hell is going on, so we can know how to move as a unit.
Right.
But I'm usually finding out things from her, because I don't.
And like you say, at the end of the day, without, but we're gonna talk about it. Just at the end of the day, he's not my boss.
Yeah.
And a lot of people fail to realize. I know, and like I said, it's a big distraction, and it's put out there, like I say, in the news, in the world, and it's everything. But when you start to rely on him and not rely on him, that's where all of the issues are coming about. Yeah, of course, we need to know because we're here, we're human, and we need certain things in order to survive. We got to work. If we don't work, we don't EAT, and if we don't EAT, we gonna DIE. So
what about how do you answer those questions, Keith?
Huh?
How do you answer those questions from people who say, y'all know I always got to come with my devil's advocate. How do you answer those questions to those people who say, I trust God and I believe God, but why is he in office? Why didn't God put somebody else there to lead us?
But again, and that's a legit question because everybody has questions. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their opinion of everything. And my question to that is, he knows. You know what I'm saying? I can't answer, sir, ma'am, I can't answer the question of why, why he allowed that to happen. But
Right.
what I can say is, I believe, I have faith, and I trust. So yeah, we get down. You know what I'm saying? It get hard. We get to struggling, and we be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh Lord, you run in there, you get on your knees, you start praying, and you start, Jesus, Lord, don't let me, But at the end of the day, either we're gonna worry or we're gonna have faith. Both of them can't coexist.
Right.
So if we're gonna worry, just worry. You know what I'm saying? Worry yourself to damn death. But if you're gonna believe and you're gonna trust God, then I'm gonna wake up every day and it's a struggle. So I'm not sitting here, I'm just speaking on me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh, every day I weigh is peachy cream. No, I'm blessed because I'd rather be seen than be viewed.
Yep.
And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that he allowed my eyes to open. You know what I'm saying? You start, my shoulders be aching in, but you know what I'm saying? We get up walking gingerly because we're older.
Yeah.
Things start to happen and take hold, but they're just allowing us to letting us know that we are still alive and we're getting older, and there's certain things that we need to do, start taking care of our bodies. But I can't rely on him. You know what I'm saying? We wake up stressing and we go to bed stressing shit. We ain't gonna be here much longer.
That part.
And that's what Carrot Top wants. Carrot Top wants everybody to be in disarray. He wants everybody to be in an uproar and upset. Why is you? He wants everybody to be pinned against each other. He wants he wants all of that distraction. So yes, Satan, again, he was an angel.
And was.
So before he was cast out, he was an angel.
He was.
So again, God is he put him in place for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Can't answer why. You know what I'm saying? We can only say, but God.
Right.
Right.
Now,
right.
These are sisters up here, and I know we all be coming for you, probably at the same time. And I know he'd be like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, that child right there. Oh, Lord. There she go again. There she go again.
Good Lord.
Regardless of what we've gone through, he hadn't failed.
Amen.
He hadn't failed. So, sir, ma'am. Sir, ma'am, I can't. All I can do is go and me. I trust. I trust him.
Right.
Wholeheartedly. I trust him. That's why, like I said, I don't watch the news. I have a coworker. She come in every single day. She say, y'all heard what happened? Y'all heard such and such and such. Y'all heard this, y'all heard it. And I be just like this here. No, girl, I ain't heard that. Because I'm trying to get these damn patients in. I'm trying to make sure my work is done. I'm trying to make sure. No, I have not partook in any of that negativity because it's a distraction.
It is a distraction.
And again, I don't know if we talked about this, but I don't know if you guys have watched the Lioness Special Ops. Have you watched that?
I haven't. I scroll by it all the time.
But let me tell you,
to watch it. I can't get into it.
When I tell you, Nisa, go back. It is so good. It's slow to start, but it is so good. It is. And one thing that I saw that B and I talked about is one reason why people don't watch the news, because in this and just know this, people who are watching and listening, people do not make these movies for fun.
No,
and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes.
But in this series was an episode where the news put together this fake, the government put together this fake story that didn't even happen. Yes. And when they put it out there, they had people all up in the, And it never even happened, y'all. It never happened.
Hey,
It
sis.
was
That's my
something
sister-in-law,
that
y'all.
they made up.
There's
And
a
I
whole
told
movie
V,
about
I
that.
was like, so this is what they really do. And V was like, yeah, this is what they really do sometimes.
There's a whole movie about just that. It was a movie about some politicians that wanted to create this thing, and they literally created a war. I forget what the name of it was. And by the time they finished doing it, it looked like it was real, and it wasn't. But that happens all the time.
But see,
That
I never
literally
knew
happens all
that
the time.
until I watched The Lioness, because I was one that watched the news like every morning. I used to watch it every morning because I grew up with my mom watching
did
the
too.
news every morning.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of got away from it. But when I watched this, I was like, V, that's what they do?
Yeah.
And V was like, yeah. So don't believe everything you see. So then here's my thing is like, what do we believe then? What do people believe? We believe
the
him.
report of the Lord.
Yeah. I mean, I believe God. I believe it. And look, that's another thing we're gonna talk about too. I'm gonna put something on y'all mind, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. And I really don't discuss religion, but this one kind of got in my head, and I'm like, okay, but anyway, so I believe God.
Yeah.
But when you got all these things coming at you, when you don't know no better, because I promise you, had I not watched Lioness Special Ops, I would have never known that the government does things like this.
Yeah.
I would have
All the time.
never even,
They do it all the time.
y'all, I never would have took a millisecond to believe that what I'm watching on the news is not real.
Wasn't real.
When when things, you know, that's just like with life. When things be going so smooth, and you like, okay, something is either about to happen, because things cannot be this perfect. It cannot be going this way and nothing is happening. So that's like with the world. If we all getting along and we all, hey, good morning, how you doing? Girl, what's up? Girl, what you doing? Girl, what? That's too good. That's too much good. So somebody gotta throw something in the game. Somebody say, okay, let's ruffle some feathers.
Yeah.
Let's make them shake. Let's make them, and then that's when people start be like, oh, she late. Oh, let's write her up. Oh, she doing this. Oh, she doing that. And then people started talking and the naysayers, and then now it's disrupted. Now we've been distracted from what the reality is of what's really going on. And then you come back, you be like, no, I don't even know why we fighting. I don't even know what we had going on, because we were just cool 3 days ago. And now it's like you said, it's a shit show, and we're trying to figure out like what really happened. And you can't even answer that. Because why? Because something was thrown in there real quick to distract us from what we was already doing, what we had going on. And that's what they're doing. It's the distraction. When it's too good, they're like, okay, they can't, it's too good.
I mean, right. Yeah, just like
it's too good.
But see, now I look at the news like that. But before this series, I didn't, because I thought, I mean, I ain't think the government was just 100% truthful, but I never thought that they would sit down and make up this whole news story that don't even exist.
Yeah.
But then you got the world in an uproar for something that's not even there.
Why not?
Because they want the American people to think a certain way and to feel a certain way. Just
brainwash.
Because they're about to do something else. So they have to get you something. They can go ahead and do that. You agree with it. Because this, and I'm about to go into my conspiracy wheelhouse. If you go down the rabbit hole, you will see different videos and different interviews from people who were in New York on 9/11.
I've been seeing them. Go
and
ahead.
they will, and they will talk about how supposedly, like the videos that we saw, those of us that were watching the news, we saw
It ain't-
planes going into buildings and exploding.
Uh-huh.
But then when you listen to people that were there on the ground, they literally said it was certain floors of the buildings that just exploded as if it was like a demolition.
Yep.
And then the buildings went like that, which is what happens with demolitions.
Right.
And then
One of
somebody
my high
like-
school classmates got killed in that building. Yeah. One of my
Yeah.
high school classmates got killed in that building. She was actually in there to get a social security card or something, but she was in that building. And
yeah,
Nisa, I've seen like 2 of those videos that recently resurfaced about 9/11 myself.
Yeah.
And that person said the same thing. They didn't
But
even
guess
see no
what?
plane hit the building. All they saw was the building explode.
going
guess what though? Guess what that is?
a distraction.
Distraction.
Because
A
after that,
distraction.
what did
Yeah.
didn't they pass some other stuff
Yes.
that was like easily, like the American people were like, yes, we need that. Go ahead and do that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
just blew up the
Yeah.
plane, did nothing. It was us
Yeah.
that did that foolishness. Blew up a building, but they look at it as what's the word? Casualty. Well, not even casualty of war. I can't even think of the term that they use when they talk about, you know, doing something.
Catastrophic?
No, basically when they say, you know, they don't really care about the number of people that's gonna get hurt or killed if they're trying to do something because they
A
consider
casualty of what? Casualties of almost like a casualty of war.
Almost like a casualty of
casualties.
war.
Yeah. That's what they were looking at, all of those people, because people did lose loved ones. Like that part is real. But why? And then NASA now. I'm seeing videos of the actual Hollywood screen room where the real first step of the moon happened. I'm just saying, like, apparently it was all Hollywood, like that never, because people was like, did y'all realize that JFK spoke to the astronauts on a rotary phone, on a landline? How did he speak to the astronauts from a landline? I don't know.
Because they was at the house.
Oh,
Wait, they said, wait a minute, what? They said who? What? Hey, hold on. Wait a minute.
She went down the rabbit hole, Diva. She went down the
Wait.
rabbit hole.
Wait a minute. Wait
listen,
a
all it
minute.
takes
That's
is you
just
to
like
like.
me getting a can right now and calling you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
I can put as much string on that mother if I want. I can put string from my house to yours. You still ain't gonna be able to hear
wouldn't hear
a goddamn thing I'm saying.
not
Not one. Not one
and
word.
they showed a picture of the supposed bottom of the boots of Neil Armstrong, because he was supposed to be the first one on the moon, right? They showed the bottom of his boot was all smooth, and then they compared it to the supposed picture, the footprint of the boot that was on the moon, and it didn't match at all. Did not match. And then they were like, if we sent up a rocket to the moon, how did that other moon buggy thing get in? It wasn't inside the rocket. The rocket wasn't big enough for the other moon buggy. And why did they leave the moon buggy?
Oh my God. The moon buggy. Listen, Linda.
Like, what did I like on Instagram? I just kept getting them back to back. I was in the hole of the rabbits. You hear me?
Right. Yeah. You were down.
So you mean to tell me J.F. Kennedy picked up the phone and said he dialed the number.
They called him on the landline.
To the astronaut in the sky, and he done had a conversation with this man from
Yeah.
his landline phone in his house.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He done called it. What did he
One
say? What did the man say? I want to know the conversation.
He said it was one giant step for man, one giant leap for mankind. That's what he said. That's what we learned in school. That's what we learned, ain't it? Ain't it what we learned? That man said that? Didn't he say that?
Listen,
Didn't he say that?
like for real though, for real.
Ain't that what he said?
Y'all so
Okay, but I
special.
mean, look,
Y'all
that's a
special.
long distance call for your ass. Okay, I
That
know
phone
that
bill-
bill was about
that phone bill was
$5,000.
astronomical.
Yeah, Lisa said that bill was astronomical.
Pun intended.
Pun
Pun
intended.
intended. Listen, y'all. For anybody that's just joining us, we're having a great conversation. We
It is.
started off with the fleur-de-lis symbol for the New Orleans Saints and what its meaning of different things. But what bothered me is it meant that slaves, it was used to brand slaves who ran away. So we went from that to talking about some things in this big, beautiful bill that is affecting our people and our community.
Yes,
so listen, this fleur-de-lis thing got me kind of I'm a diehard Saints fan. I love the fleur-de-lis. It's beautiful, but it has several meanings. It means royalty. It means Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It means so many other beautiful things, but it also is a symbol that was used to brand slaves who ran away. I had a little issue with that, but hey, it is what it is. It was before my time. I love the sign and I love my Saints. Who that baby all the way. So then we
what
started
that
talking
means that what she just said was she ain't taking her down and she ain't throwing her away for nobody.
For nobody.
Taking it down.
Y'all heard her.
Nobody. But
Y'all heard
I think that it's knowledge that people who love the New Orleans Saints and people who support the team, I really think it's knowledge that they should know. And then decide what they want to do with it. So there are several Saints groups that I am going to post this in and see what they think about it. But then we went over to the big, beautiful bill and how it affects our community as far as food stamps, as far as free lunches for our kids, as far as Medicare, Medicaid, and how it's affecting our community.
Yes.
So we kind of dove a little bit into the politics era. And now we're talking about our beloved ex-president made a phone call from his house to space. So
no, they called him.
They called him from space to his house. I'm still trying to find out how it happened.
Lisa said it was astronomical.
The bill was astronomical. That's long distance for your ass, okay? You talk about long distance from the space, and now we don't even know how many miles there was up in the space.
The final space, the final frontier.
Listen,
going where no man has gone before.
Listen, and we also talked about a series. If you guys who are tuning in, if you have not seen this series, it is an awesome series called Lioness Special Ops with Zoe Saldana. And we were talking about how in this particular series, how the government made up this whole complete story that wasn't even real, and they put it on the news. Then they had the American people all in a frenzy and all up for something that wasn't even real. And little did I know, because I don't do politics. If anything, these ladies know I'm finding out from my wife because she's the one that keep us afloat with the politics because I just don't like it. But after finding out that they did this, I'm like, do they do this? So you can't believe everything you see on the news because this series made me think twice about some of the stuff they putting on the news. And especially when they start to come out with all this monkeypox and all this stuff. If
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
remember months ago, they had all these monkeys escaped from this testing, this not CDC, but it was a office or facility where they were testing these monkeys for monkeypox. They disappeared. They broke out. It was on the news one day. One day. We ain't heard nothing else about those monkeys. If they found them, if
Girl.
nothing. You heard
Or
that one day on the news, and we haven't heard it anymore.
we ain't heard from the
And
monkey
you
or the
haven't
pot.
heard anything about monkeypox either. So that alone makes me think, okay, they made this up like they did on Special Ops.
Yeah.
Here they made this story up to put all these people in a frenzy because it was around election time, might I add. They got everybody in a frenzy talking about, oh, these monkeys didn't escape. They got monkeypox. They testing them. You know, I got to keep the kids. Put you in a frenzy for nothing.
But nothing.
For something that didn't even happen. Them monkeys was probably still in their testing unit. And they done made this video. They might have let 2 or 3 of them out running and they took some pictures and some videos and make you think that they said it was but 25 to 30. I think it was like 30 monkeys had escaped from this testing facility.
And then you
Uh-uh.
probably
And
had
what it
people,
was, North Carolina or South, I think it was either North Carolina or South Carolina.
you had
Mhm.
One
people
day,
that
one day,
already
y'all, I posted it on my page. And I didn't hear anything else about it. The next day, you ain't heard nothing. You ain't seen nothing. Nobody even knew anything about it.
Mm-mm.
but the pictures that they were showing of the people that so-called had the monkeypox, all these big blisters and all of this, you know what I'm saying? You know, that AI is a mofo, for one. Or they could have got someone who literally had a disease or a sickness. They could have taken from that and called it the monkeypox. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, so it's all of these conspiracy theories, all of this stuff again to get you in a distraction. And if it doesn't do what they want it to do, then it dies off until
It
they can
dies
find something else to
Yeah.
get y'all upset and get y'all in an uproar. That's why I was like, you know what?
But don't get me wrong, Kiki. I do think that monkeypox is out there. I do think it's out there, but it's not spreading and it's not as prevalent as they want the American people to believe.
Yeah.
But
There's always
what
going
is
to be
monkeypox? What is it supposed to
that
be?
you
What is it supposed to look like? All of that type of stuff. Because you know what I'm saying? It's like with the chicken pox. When we were growing up, we knew everybody, most of our, we got the chicken pox. We knew what it was, and we still got spots. Some of us still have those
still got
chicken
spots.
pox spots
Some-
because you scratch them. They somewhere,
I got
but
a
it's
spot
like,
right.
let me see.
so listen, it says they say mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is a disease caused by infection with the virus known as monkeypox virus. This virus is part of the same family of smallpox. Okay, it's part of the same family that causes
Small.
smallpox.
Yeah.
People with mpox often get a rash along with other symptoms. The rash will go through several stages, including scabs, before healing. So, I know it's out there. I have no doubt that somebody out there in this world has monkeypox, just like I feel like somebody out there in this world has the bird flu. I feel like all this stuff is out there, but
Mhm.
to the magnitude that they want to scare the American people like COVID,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not out there like that. And we are going to constantly have different diseases, different viruses, different illnesses come into our country when we allow, let me say that again. When we allow all these other countries to come into our country freely,
Mm-hmm.
we have to have passports and all these paperwork and documentation to go to other countries, but other countries can freely come into ours. So when you have that, you're going to have all these different diseases coming to America. You're going to have it now. The magnitude of what you're going to have or how it's going to portray itself is going to differ. Because if somebody has something and they come on a plane with 200 more people and they get really sick, if
Yeah.
they don't tell somebody that, hey, I just got off of flight 257 from Jamaica
Right.
with this monkeypox, so y'all need to contact everybody that was on that flight. If they don't do that, then somebody gets it. They don't know. Then they go to the doctor. They got monkeypox. So then that's how all of this stuff spreads.
It does.
Those are
But it's going
moles.
to
Those are
continue to be
moles
brought to
planted.
our country.
Those are moles being planted.
I do agree. I do
Those,
agree.
and like you said, so it's not like you said. It's not like, I'm definitely not saying that it ain't out there.
Yeah.
Definitely not saying that it don't exist. But that's just almost, kind of considering almost like a suicide bomber when they are planted and placed in certain places, and they know what their job is.
Yeah.
Their job is to kill as many people along with it. Their belief. They believe that they're doing the right thing. So with these moles, it could be that they're injecting these people as dummies, guinea pigs, and saying, okay, now this is what I need for you to do.
Right.
Now, whether it kills them or not, they've been paid off. So they, what I'm saying, they didn't sign their life on the dotted line. They said, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go here. I need you to spread this. We're going to pay you X, Y, and Z to, to be the. So it's a lot, like you said, it's a lot that could be going on. A lot of this stuff, if they got names and it exists, but to, like you saying, to what point? And again, that's a factor. Ain't nothing that scared me more than this damn COVID.
And I feel like
Because
that happened with COVID.
Yeah, because for one, I think that got out of hand.
Yeah, it
because
did.
We've never ever heard of anything like that. And then as people start saying, well, you know what? It was on the Lysol cans and this can. Look on the back of the cans and it says COVID, this, that, and the third. You looking like, hey, who's reading the ingredients? Who's reading the back of your cans to say what this does? This kills COVID and this kills this. We ain't never heard no damn COVID. So how we not supposed to know what kills what?
Well, because COVID, even though it's an illness on its own, it is a part of what we call the SARS virus. SARS virus have been around since the 1970s. So that's why it is on the back of the Lysol can, because COVID is a sister of the SARS virus.
Right. Okay. But again, that's what I'm saying. But nobody even thought of, about, like I say, this COVID. We everybody trying to come around, and then you want to bring it. Well, this the folks from China. People from China, they did this and they did that, and they got off the plane, and now
so
it's
wrong for
that. Everywhere.
So wrong.
And so, but just for people who don't know, because they say SARS, and you think, oh my God, SARS, what is SARS? It's just a severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Wait a minute, say that one more time now.
A really bad cold.
For people in the back, when you hear SARS virus, which is on the back of your Lysol can, which COVID is a sister to the SARS virus. SARS means severe acute respiratory syndrome. That's
But
all
it
it
sounds like,
means.
but with you saying it that way, and then somebody saying SARS, that shit sound like a death sentence.
Yes. And that's why I said for people who don't know what SARS mean, that's all it is. It's just a really, that's that
Really,
URI.
really bad cold.
That's the URI, upper respiratory infection.
Yeah.
That's a part of SARS, COVID, because it's respiratory. It's
Yeah.
a part of SARS. So
Yeah.
that's why they say Lysol will kill those viruses. But we never had a wave of COVID because COVID is more severe than your URI.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's way more severe than your URIs because
Yes, it
your
is.
URIs don't attack the lungs like COVID does.
Yeah.
COVID is strictly, it goes straight for them lungs for your breathing. Upper respiratory infection, it affects the lungs, but not like COVID. It's like COVID jump on them lungs and they don't want to get off. A URI is a slight infection, but it's still a little severe depending on the level that you go to the doctor and they catch it.
Yeah.
So COVID is really just a severe version of a URI.
So
But
why
again, like you say, when you say SARS, people think, "Oh my God, what is that? I'm about to
I'm
die."
about to die.
Yeah. So, and again, I agree with the way that it got here because if it was in China, it should have been contained in China. It should have been contained and as a matter of fact, like we had to learn, it should have been contained in Wuhan, China, where it started. We had to take tests and all of that about Wuhan, China,
Oh wow.
because we had to know where it originated, where it came from, and what it does as a nurse. We had to learn that. We had to test on that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Whose
it should have
laboratory?
been contained in Wuhan. When you saw that video, I don't know if y'all ever saw it, but when it first happened, there
Mhm.
was a video of China that these trucks were going through with this disinfectant, cleaning the streets, washing buildings. They were going through spraying these disinfectants on these buildings in China. I wish I could find that video. So it should have been contained then and there. But I feel like they allowed people to continue to travel. I feel like all travel should have been at a halt when it started spreading in Wuhan. But they didn't do that. Why? We will never know.
No.
But they were millions of people dying from COVID. I will never forget working in a hospital and they're bringing in Dallas, Texas, and they're bringing bodies out to freezer truck. I will never get that visual out of my head. It's almost like military at war. I will never get that vision out of my head. I will never get the vision of us laying on floors and this and trying to get through a 12-hour shift. I will never forget that. I will never forget that you can no longer eat in the hospital. There were no cafeterias open. There were nothing but vending machines. If you wanted to eat or take a break, you had to take all of that stuff off and go out to your car and eat. Because they were afraid if you opened any kind of food or anything in these hospitals that you would get COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy.
It could
It
have
was
been contained. Going to the hotel and I got prints in my face from the mask and it
was
could have been
really
contained.
weird.
There's a lot that the government could have done, and they just didn't do it.
No, they got
Once
sloppy.
again,
They got
once
sloppy.
again, talk about the government.
That distraction. I think they actually got sloppy with that. Somebody dropped the ball and it was like a big ass oops. And then
But it had to be a really big
what
one
could you
because
do?
now we're not talking about Wuhan alone. We're talking about Wuhan. We're talking about Jamaica. We're talking about Dallas, Tennessee,
Everywhere.
Florida, New Orleans, Louisiana. I mean, we're
Yes.
talking about each state had hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of
Yeah.
people dying.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
drop them moles in there. Again, you got people that
They sent
they can
people out.
place them anywhere they want to place them.
Can you imagine somebody telling you your loved one died and you want to see them? Oh, we got to go get them out the freezer truck because the
Well,
morgue is full.
I had 2 loved ones, 3 loved ones that passed from COVID. And again, because before that, it's like before this, nothing was going on. They were just fine. But then they started saying that it was an underlining. So if they had other issues going on, the COVID was able to attack the system and break down the immune system faster than it
Yeah.
would be a normal healthy person. Well, hey,
Yeah.
the first time I got it, that shit put me on my ass. Like literally scared me to death.
Yeah.
I mean, and the things, like I said, your body, when you start feeling certain things like sensitive to touch, losing your sense of smell and sense of taste, and that shit, that's crazy on your mental, because you sitting there like, I don't have no cold, I ain't sick, but all of a sudden I can't taste, I can't smell, and everything is right there. So that plays on your mental. You like, what is really, really going on?
Yeah.
You can't
I had
touch your
COVID from
own
my first
skin
surgery.
without feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's like you literally like ache, your whole body like aches, and it puts you in a state of flu type
I was about to say it
situation.
felt like the flu, like a really, really bad flu is what it felt like. It's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't
And like
even
I
know I
said,
had
it's
COVID
still
the
out
first
there.
time.
Hmm?
Yeah. I didn't even know I had COVID the first time. How I found out that I had COVID is we did the what you call that test? The antibody screening. They were
Mm,
trying to find people at the hospital to do the antibody screening, and I volunteered. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. They just draw your blood and check your antibodies, and they came back and said, oh, yours is positive. My antibody's positive for what? You had COVID before? No. Yeah, you've had COVID before. What? When?
oh
I
wow.
never knew I had it. I wasn't sick. I didn't have no temperature. I never even knew I had COVID. But had I not taken that test, I would have never known I had it.
Yeah.
And
But
the
now the
symptoms
second
are
time I
less.
got it, I couldn't walk. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, the
It was just
symptoms
that
are
bad.
everlasting. It's like it damages your brain. It damages you in a lot of ways. That cough, that lasting cough,
It damaged my lungs.
memory, you know what I'm saying?
Baby,
COVID
I
has
get so
damaged
tired of coughing.
COVID has damaged my lungs. I literally have stuff on my lungs still from COVID. Still.
Girl.
Still.
Ooh, I got tired of coughing.
Now, V lost her taste and smell. I didn't lose mine. I didn't
I
lose my
lost
taste
mine.
and smell. V
I
lost
lost.
hers, but I didn't.
I
And I didn't even realize it until
couldn't
I was
walk.
burning some incense. And I was like, I don't smell my incense. And I was like, let me go taste something. And then I was like, Lord, I got COVID.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know, we just have to keep our eyes open.
And your ears.
That too, definitely that. But it's just it just amazes me to know that our government wants to deceive its people like they do, instead of just being honest with us and letting us know what's going on and letting us deal the way we got to deal with whatever it is. Why deceive your American people? Why deceive us? Just let us know what it is.
because they want to control the narrative.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know, I understand that, but I'm still saying,
Yeah.
like, why do that? Why do you feel like you have to be in control of everything? Because you are still in control of everything. But
No, but you're actually not. If you have to go to these extents, then you know for your own self that you're not in control. That's just like somebody being intimidated and afraid of us. Why?
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know you from
yeah,
Bob the Builder. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know you. You know what I'm saying? We walk when we get up, we walk the same way. We bleed the same blood. We do the same. So why are you intimidated by me? Why does me being here bother you so much? And I
Because the
just walk
media,
to the front.
right? The media puts it out there. Stereotype: all black people are criminals. You
They're
see one
aggressive,
person
they're
that do
aggressive and
something,
angry.
it's
All black folks are aggressive and angry.
everybody does it. We're all, but
But
you
do
see
let
a
me
white
look this
person
up
doing
real quick.
something, they're just individuals. It's not the whole white community. But let
Right.
them tell all black people do the same thing. It's like, okay, yo, you really believe that? Like, really? You can't
I
You
just
tell me,
want to.
no,
believe that.
no.
Oh my God, you're not like the other black people. What other black people?
What other,
So listen to this. I wanted to look this up when you said something about prison. So it says in U.S. prison there isn't a fixed average amount of races as demographics vary.
Mhm.
However, Blacks are disproportionately
Uh-huh.
represented
Yeah.
with a much higher incarceration rate compared to their percentage of general population.
Yeah.
Whites and Hispanic are also present, but their representation in prisons is generally lower than the
Yes.
proportion of the overall
Yeah.
population. So it says, here's a more detailed breakdown. In 2017, 33% of prison population, but only 12% of the US adult population are Black individuals.
Uh-huh.
12%. So that must mean the rest must be juvenile, right? So
Could
then
be.
it says it's 30% of white
Mm-hmm.
while making up 64% of the adult population. So I don't know why they want us to think that there's more blacks in prison than there are white. Not.
Mm-hmm.
It says 12% of the US adult population for blacks, 64% of the US adult population, and Hispanics represent 23% of inmates and 16% of adult population.
Wow.
So there's more whites in prison than there are blacks.
And there are
There's more
black.
Hispanics in prison than there are blacks. But
but they're not
we
gonna
got to
talk
do
about
our
them though.
research. We got to do our research because they'll tell us anything.
Well,
They're not
and
gonna talk about them though. Yeah.
that's what they do. Because anytime you get, especially them keyboard gangsters, they get on there and the first thing they holler about is black on black crime and this and that. And
What's
it's
it
like,
called?
it's
The
more
keyboard?
keyboard
We need to
gangsters.
find a keyboard a sound.
Keyboard. All right. I'm gonna look for one.
We need to find a keyboard. We need to find a keyboard sound.
They be on there,
But
and look, and they're on my petty days now, and I get right there with them. I do. I'm not ashamed to say I'm very petty on some days, and I get right in there with them. But the first thing they do is holler about black on black crime, and it's like it's more white people dying from drugs, killing each other. You know, hello school shooters, hello church shooters. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they don't talk about that. And then when they put them in the news, they were misunderstood.
yep,
They had mental
that's it.
breakdowns.
That's it right there.
So, but then let something happen, and it includes one of our babies getting killed. Oh well, you know his mama's granddaddy
Yeah.
in 1953 was a gangster. What they got to
Right.
do with the fact that a cop just killed one of our babies?
Right.
What about
Yeah.
what about
Yeah.
it's like they always flip, but they've been pissed off since emancipation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Ever since 1863, they've been mad that we quit working for free.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah.
They started the
Absolutely.
marketing campaign. Here's how deep it gets. If you think about this, put the conspiracy caps back on. Think about this. When our ancestors left the plantation, when they were finally free to do so, right? They call themselves throwing them the scraps. They call themselves throwing them the animals and the fruit that they assumed did not have the best nutrition. What they give us? Watermelons. What is watermelon? One of the most nutritious fruits you can have, because not only does it fill you up, it keeps you hydrated. Okay, then they gave us the chicken, the barnyard pimp. What we do? Took that thing and figured, and we had already knew how to cut it up and season it. Then they gave us what? The pig. Oh, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing with this. All right, bet. What we eat? Everything from the rooter to the
Rooter
tutor.
to the tutor.
Pork chop,
Yeah.
ham hock, bacon.
Guess what
Oh
they
yeah,
did? They
pickle
were mad
tender,
about
pick
They were
tip.
mad about that. So what they do, even back then, they started a marketing campaign. Let's put the black people up with the big lips and the watermelon, and let's make fun of them eating watermelon and fried chicken. Why? Because they were mad that what do? We had that workaround. We always figure it out. And ever
Always.
since then, that thing has carried on all the way through until now.
Yep.
That's how mad they are. It's like, what you want? We still here. And we still telling y'all to take a bath with washcloths. I saw a white chick the other day. She was like, oh my God, I ended up on the I forget what she said, but she said
Take a bath. Take a bath.
she ended up on the black side of TikTok, and she found out about the African mesh that is, good to bathe with. She was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, if you don't know about it, please go and buy you some. And somebody came in the comments and said, look at this. A white girl telling people to use African mesh. How about that? I was like, okay, well,
So I'm gonna put some on y'all brains.
What's that?
And it was brought to my attention.
Oh Lord.
The ice cream truck. Y'all remember the old song from the ice cream truck?
Yes. I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Okay, now that was brought to my attention. My baby brought that to my attention. We was having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, babe. I said, that ain't real. He was like, yes, it is. I said, no, it's not. He pulled it up.
Yep.
And I took it to one of my coworkers. She said she's still in denial about it, but it's okay. Everybody had it. But I was like, there's no way that
Okay, what is it?
that's what that song says.
Yeah.
So if you notice, they don't play it anymore.
The ice cream truck song. The old one.
They will go to A Christmas Carol before they play that song again.
Yeah.
The old ice cream truck musical.
Okay, let me look this up.
It says, nigga want a watermelon. Ha 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 ha. Close your mouth, diva. Okay, so Lisa, I don't know. Am I lying?
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Look, I'm looking for it now.
Am I lying or not?
Oh, here you go. Hold on. Wait, let me see. Hold on. Waiting for it to pop up.
So when you mention watermelon and the us cousins, back in the day, But you know what? But like what you just said, that makes a whole lot of sense. And they have always from the beginning.
Oh, it says
tried to-
it right here, baby. What?
It is right here.
Yep, it says nigga love a watermelon. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha
Never
ha.
to the distinction of most racist song in America. Release them. What?
1916 by Columbia
You niggas
Records.
quit throwing them bones and come down and get your ice cream. Ice cream, yes, ice cream. Colored man's ice cream, watermelon. What the fuck? I'm
Mhm.
over it.
There's nothing like a watermelon for a hungry coon.
I see that. OMG. I bet you V don't know this. Oh, I will never buy. I just brought ice cream from goddamn ice cream truck last
No,
week.
They don't play.
They changed the
They don't play
music.
it no more. They don't play it no more.
They don't play it no more.
But you can't unhear it.
Oh, I know I ain't gonna never hear that now.
You cannot unhear it.
What
though? What they play now? The Fuzzy Wuzzy song.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
What's the one that? That's the one.
That's
Some
what
of them
they play
play.
around my house now.
Do your chains hang low? Do you roll them to and fro? Do you time in the
Yeah.
knot? Do you time in the
Yeah.
knot? It's still,
Yeah.
Still
it's still.
same song.
But that
Oh,
that original one, yeah. Get you some of that.
What in the what?
Get you some of that.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done. But I want to tell y'all this before we close out. I'm gonna put something on your mind. So I have a friend. We were talking about praying and praying to God, right? So she said, I don't believe in Jesus, but I believe in God. But I believe in God.
Okay.
So in my mind, I'm like, well, I can go with the other, okay, but go ahead, finish talking. So she said, this is one of the reasons we're going to discuss this next week because I want to do some more research.
Okay.
She said one of the reasons why she doesn't go to church because the church is a cult. And her reason for saying that is because she said, think about this. Communion Sunday, they telling you you're drinking blood and you're eating a part of somebody's body. Cults do that. Cults make you drink blood. They make you eat whatever. And then she said, do you think God really wants us to eat somebody's body and drink somebody's blood? Those are cult actions. And I was like, well,
it's in the Bible, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, but when you don't think about things the way some people put it, you like, are we having a Jim Jones moment? We're drinking blood. We're eating the body. So we're going to talk about this next week because I just want to know y'all thoughts on it. What do you think about it? Like she says, she don't believe in Jesus, but she do believe that there's a higher power, which is God.
What is her definition? Go ahead.
She says she don't believe in Jesus, which is the Son of God, but she believes in God or that there's a higher power than God.
She believes in God, but she don't believe in God.
She believes in God, but she don't believe in the Son of God.
So why does she believe in God then? Like, what's her
Well,
reason for believing in God?
well, because I don't like to talk about religion, so I didn't ask.
But I mean, it's a valid question. If
I
she
know, but
made that statement, then
you
my
got to
next
know
question
her
would be,
to know. Yeah, I didn't ask.
my next question would be, well, why do you even believe in God if you don't believe
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the Jesus part?
I ain't asked, y'all. I
I can
ain't
see if
asked.
she was like, I don't even believe in God, but I believe in a higher power. Okay.
Right. Okay. So yeah, but you
No,
use
but
the
she
terminology.
said
She
that she
believes.
believes
That's what I'm
in God,
saying. She
but
used
she
that
does not
term.
believe in
Like, it
Jesus.
is in the book that he said, "Eat and drink of me. Remember me." So those are his words.
It's in remembrance.
In
And
remembrance
remember it,
of
right?
him and what he did
Listen,
for us.
Not
listen. See,
saying
this
Hold
is
on,
that,
why. Listen,
no, this ain't it too. No, this is I promise
listen.
you.
I know my Bible and I know what he said,
Right.
but
but
I'm saying this ain't what you said.
we need to
Yeah,
bring
this ain't what you.
on. We need
Yeah,
to bring
because
on here.
no, this we're saying we're doing it in remembrance of him.
We need to
You know
bring
what
her
I'm
on
saying?
here.
So yeah, we need.
'Cause
I want to
would
know
love
more
to hear
too.
her explanation. We need to bring her on here.
I'll see if she wants to come
I'm
on and
serious.
talk about it. She's
I'm
probably,
serious.
I'm gonna tell you now, she's probably not going to want to,
Tell her
but
she can keep her camera off and just talk. And
okay,
she don't have
I'm
to
gonna
put her
see.
name up or nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna see, but
Serious.
I just thought it was
To
interesting, and
hear.
I wanted to see what other religious or spiritual people thought about.
I
Yeah,
like to hear what other people, because here's the thing. We are all individuals. We all read from different books depending on what your upbringing is. Everybody has different ways of, how they look at the world. And who am I to tell somebody what's true or what's not true? Because the way she explains it, she might give me an aha moment. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I know how I was raised. I know what I believe. I know the miracles I have personally witnessed and been a part
Witness, yes, Lord.
on my upbringing. Like, I know what they say, you can't you don't know like I know what the Lord has done for
Has
me.
done for me. Yes,
Now,
Lord.
at the same time, something could have happened with her too, and we don't think the same. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'll see if she wants to come on because I just thought it was very interesting. And again, I try not
love to have that
to.
conversation.
I try not to discuss religion. I
You
know
can
my
discuss it
Bible.
without beating people down.
Yeah,
Just have
but
a
see,
conversation.
I ain't, yeah, no. But I'm gonna see if she'll
You
come
know
on. I'll let y'all talk to her because I just don't. Yeah, I just
but I mean, but at the end of the day, opinions are just like buttholes.
we all
Everybody
got
has
one.
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
what, like you said, we're not here to put listen, you crazy. We're not here to put her beliefs on us just as well as her, what I'm saying, trying to convert us to what she believes.
Right.
But like, like Lady K said, and like you, Diva, as well, I've been a part of on the receiving end. I've been on the receiving end. You know what I'm saying?
right.
At the place where, what I'm saying, to what thus says the Lord, and what the Bible says, and we ain't Bible toting people, but we believers.
Right.
So I want
And
to
listen,
know.
I really, now that you're saying that, I really want to get her on here because she has just this totally different outlook, everything. And she told me another thing she told me is like she's more of like this conspiracy theorist, but like way deep. Because she told me that we all living in one big circle, like we live in a globe.
In a dome.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard
You
that.
believe that?
No. I've heard it.
You heard
Heard it.
and that's what she's like, yeah, we live in this dome and
Yeah.
it's just one big circle. And I
Yeah.
was like, huh?
Because those are the same people that kind of they use that as their reasoning to say we've never, like, there's no spaceship that has ever left here because you
Right.
can only go to a certain height. You can't go beyond the dome. Like, there is no, what we see as far as our skies and all that, like, all that's just a part of the dome. That's, yeah. Oh, I told you, I don't know what I clicked on Instagram, but every now and then, all the reels just go deeper and deeper, and I just be sitting up there going, "Oh my
and she's also one of
serious.
these people that I would like to talk to somebody else along with her
Yeah.
that is doing this. They're giving up their sovereign citizenship.
Oh my, those people crack me up."
Listen, I know several people that are doing that. And
They
she came down here. She trying to find she waiting on her $5 million or it's like, huh?
girl, if you
Like
ever watch
what?
any of the
Like
court
what you doing? You need to do it. UNV need to. No.
Mm-mm.
You got to tell me.
That sounds like some cult shit to me. Sorry, but they
Well, I'm gonna get more information and we will discuss this.
Yes, T-Bone, beliefs are a strong force, sir. Yes, they are.
Yes, and for anybody out there that's thinking about giving up their sovereign citizenship.
Okay, so what does that mean, though? What does that mean?
T-Bomb said, "What you say? They have a crazy hey T." Wait a minute.
What does that mean, though?
Okay, let me tell you. Hold on, and then this
to give up
hold
your
on.
sovereign. What your who giving? What you giving up?
Sovereign citizenship.
Okay, so yes, do tell.
Now I thought she was talking about the people that claim that they are sovereign citizens and they don't fall under the rule of any of the government. They don't recognize
and that's
any
what
of
it
that.
says. So
they're individuals, and it's so weird.
It says giving up sovereign citizenship in the context of the sovereign citizen movement means rejecting the authority of government and its laws, believing that one is not subject to them, and instead claiming to be a sovereign individual with inherent rights.
Yes.
This belief system often involves a my-centered interpretation.
I don't know.
Wait, girl.
See, right there just told me no. That right there, yeah, that right there just told me all I need to know.
It's the pina colada. It's misinterpretation. No. Please forgive me. Misinterpretation of legal concepts and rejection of the legitimacy of government institutions. So that's just like somebody we know said they were giving that up so they didn't have to pay.
They were doing what?
Giving it up so they didn't have to pay child support. Because you don't have to follow the law, the government laws. You don't have to follow anything that they say. You're like your own citizen. You're like, you can do, at least that's what this says, that you can do what you want to do.
Right. If you ever watch any court cases or any of the videos of the cops film or whatever, when they stop people and they stop the sovereign citizens or they be in court, baby, it's so funny. I've
never seen it. I've never seen it where they stop
them on YouTube. It is hilarious. Because they go through all of that you're talking about. They always have all this paperwork to explain, and they always it's hilarious to me because I'm like, okay, who are these people, and where did they come from, and who started it?
That sounds like some Jim Jones bullshit.
It's weird because it's like they literally are like, I don't recognize, who are you speaking to? I am the individual. Are you speaking to him? Are you speaking to me? Are you? It's like, okay,
So their driver's license and their social security numbers
they don't renew
used
them.
like contracts.
Yeah,
They say that surrender their sovereignty to the government.
yeah. They don't. Once they expire, they don't renew them. They don't recognize any of that. They're like, I don't have to have a license to drive for this city or this county. It's hilarious. Go check them out. I promise you'll have a good laugh.
No, thank you.
You'll have a good laugh.
That sounds like some sheer and utter BS.
So, but
it's hilarious.
It's important to note that sovereign citizen movement. Oh, so they said the important note to remember is that the sovereign citizen movement is not recognized by any legal or governmental authority, and their claims are not legally valid.
So
but why are all these people doing this if it's not legal?
I don't know. That's
why just like being called a Hebrew. I had a patient. No, seriously, I
believe you.
Somebody did some paperwork, and they said they was a Hebrew. I said, you was a Hebrew. You was a what? I was like, yeah, I'm a Hebrew. Okay, can you finish signing in, please?
They put that for what? For gender? For nationality?
It was for, I think, ethnicity, or I think it was belief or religion or something. I think it might have been something about that on the paperwork. But I was reading, I was like, you said you a who?
So because they put that, what were they expecting different from you and this office?
They just, I mean, you know, where we will put Black or African American or this, that, and the third. They just said that they were Hebrew.
Other. Okay.
And they said it's a whole, I say you're what? They say, yeah, I'm Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew. I say you can be whatever you want to be as long as you be putting this $30 copay.
Right. I was about to say, as long as you pay this copay, baby, you could be whoever you want to be.
Look, here go Kiki. Okay, other. That'll be $30.
I like you say, you don't these days, you don't fight with people in their beliefs. You don't, it's not a battle. You know what I'm saying? We don't.
Because the next thing would be here, unfortunately, we do not recognize that here. So in order for you to be seen today, you still would have to pay your $30 copay.
I mean, but again, that's just like, you know, the pronouns that, you know, they want to use the pronouns, them, they, he, him, and you consider yourself
she, her,
all of that. Yeah. But you're in it, and this was my previous job, but you're in an OBGYN facility. I'm not going to call you sir.
Because you're the one that's pregnant. Sir,
I'm not going to call you sir. You still have your ovaries. You are still cycling. You still. I'm not going to say him downstairs. I'm not about to say I'm not doing that. So I just say, after you come to my desk and I get you checked in, after I get you checked in, then I'm done. I want you to stay right here because I don't want to have to call you back up for nothing else. Because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say, "Excuse me, come here, please."
With the smile.
Come here. Can you come here for a second, please? And again, to each his own. Everybody has their rights, and I'm not again. That's what you want. But when you set, that's what I'm saying. When you put yourself in these predicaments and these situations and want everybody else to convert to you, no, we're gonna do this thing. You got an OBGYN facility. You got a split between your legs.
And you're pregnant.
And you have ovaries, and you have a cycle, and you have all of those things. And yes, you came in there with a beard and you're pregnant. We're not doing those things. Y'all, I promise you, her name,
came in this motherfucker with a beard.
Her name was Sebastian. Her name was Sebastian. She came in there. Yes, she was going through. She was look. Yeah, she came in trying to, before the process was finished, she became pregnant. So you still went on through, you did your, surgery, and you came in there with a full beard.
The lie, there you go, this bitch. The lie, there you go, this bitch.
I'm saying.
Hold on.
So
listen, y'all.
Listen. So again, to each his own, to eat his own, to do whatever you want to do to your own. But I am. Hey, how you doing? Come here for a second.
Right.
Yeah. Then I let the nurse know. I say, look, after this, I let the nurse know. I say, hey, she wants to be called XYZ, or it's put in the chart. Now y'all handle that on the back end. I've done my duty. I've done my due diligence for today.
They said,
because one of my doctors, he said I'm not going to do that. He said I see women,
right?
So if they want to be considered something other than a woman, then I will not see them. I mean, we had other doctors in there. He said, I'm not doing it. He said, because I see women, I treat women. And I agree. This is an OB facility. OB. You can play them games somewhere else. You can come in with your dog, what they call them dogs?
You know what?
We done? Okay. I'll say I'm done. Okay.
Listen, everybody. We have talked about some serious topics tonight. We talked about some fun topics tonight. We've talked about a little bit of everything. But if there is ever a topic that you would like for us to discuss, please hit us up in our Facebook Messenger, or you can email us at theladiesden23@gmail.com. Also, please remember to go like us on Facebook at The Ladies Den, Instagram at The Ladies Den 2023. And please, guys, we're trying to get our numbers up on YouTube. Please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Ladies Den Podcast. I don't even know what else to say. What else we gotta say? We on every Thursday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're also looking for beverage sponsors.
9-ish.
If you have a beverage that you would like us to feature on our show, also hit us up in Messenger or email us at theladiesden23@gmail.com. Also, before we go, I want to say thank you to all the ladies who will be joining me for the Georgia Women of Impact Sister Circle, which I am now doing every month. And we do like a color each month. We go out to brunch and we have different events. Last month was our first event, and we started out with the color yellow, and we had, I think, 10 or 11 ladies. This Saturday, thank you, we are doing the color green. We're going to T's Brunch Bar in Cumberland, and we have 22 ladies. So the numbers are growing. Thank you guys for joining my group. Thank you guys for joining the Georgia Women of Impact Sister Circle. And we're going to keep it going with a lot more things. We have a lot more things to come. We are also planning like some back to school stuff, some help fair. So the purpose of Georgia Women of Impact is to impact the community. Positive ways, of course. So we're going to be doing a lot of different things. So if any of you ladies are out there and you want to join us on Saturday, we'll be at T's Brunch Bar 10:30 Saturday morning. And the color is green. You can wear any shade of green, any color of green, any mixture of green that you want to wear. And we'll see you on Saturday. So thank you, ladies. I appreciate you all wanting to come out. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time. So I think that's it for the announcements, unless you ladies got anything going on.
I have quite a bit
coming up
going on, but shouts out to my my grandson, you guys' nephew, because this weekend he will be actually performing at the Mobile, I think the 8th annual it's a music fest that's being held in Mobile. And he will be playing alongside Dennis Finger Roll Nelson, who is, I think he's a Southern soul kind of jazz artist.
Okay.
And he will be performing actually his own. They each, I think it's 3 of him and a couple of other friends. They're performing their own songs.
Oh wow! Okay, I know you told us about that. I totally forgot.
Yeah, but and so he told me the song that he's doing. Did not know this was the name of the song until he told me, but I'm super duper excited about it. I'm so excited about him and the things that he's doing. He's such an amazing kid, not because he's my grandson, but because he's an all around genuinely great kid.
And because he's your grandson.
Right.
Brothers in the family. Yes. All right, nephew.
So he's doing that, and I'm gonna definitely have pictures and videos to make sure he's doing. I'm not gonna even tell the song that he's doing. We'll catch it, when we come back. So that's gonna be exciting. On the 20th, The Shell of a Man, which I am being casted. I am a part of that cast. Will be at the Green Light Uptown Comedy.
The Shell of a Man.
Yeah. On the 20th.
I thought it was just men and then just women. I've never seen one, so I don't know.
You've never seen the play?
No.
Seen the play?
No.
Oh my.
No, because every time Tina has had it, I was either out of town working assignment or I had something planned.
Okay, so on the 20th, the 25th, I am being 20th, honored.
I'll be heading to California for an assignment. I won't be here.
On the 25th, I am being honored with EDOF, the Elite Dolls of Faith. On the 25th of this month. Let's see. I am also being vote for me as ITLA's Model of the Year for the Icon magazine.
Okay.
And then in October, with Fats Give Back, I am being awarded and honored in that arena as well. So I got quite a few things. God is totally, I know we're not talking religion, but he is amazing. He is truly, totally amazing. And I'm looking forward to all of the things that he has in store for me, as well as my sisters. So yeah, Godspeed. That's it. That's all.
Lisa K. I'm sorry, Lady K.
I'm slowly healing, yet healing. Praise the Lord. But this is the only thing that I have that I wanted to announce. One of young lady that I got a chance to know. She's also been connected with TLA a little bit. She almost got there, but she got sick. But anyway, So Fluent, the owner's name is Leticia Williams. She is doing her first very own fashion show.
Nice.
I feel so proud because she asked me about it back in April, and she was like, "Oh my God, I think I want to do it." I was like, "Do it." And so she's having a casting call July 19th at 1 p.m. In Douglasville. And basically, I can share this over to the Ladies Den page, but looking for all shapes and sizes, must be at least 16. Bring your comp card. Now the only thing is you gotta wear all black. That's cool. But if I remember correctly, the heel has to be, I think you said it, it's not on here, but at least 4 inches high.
Oh, that ain't no problem.
Okay. All right, 4 inches. All right, you better work it. I don't know if mine are 4 inches, but I mean, I got a little heel I can wear. But anyway, seriously, I have worn a lot of her stuff. I actually have. She made a garment for me, and so this young lady knows what she's doing.
Yes,
she does.
She's a seamstress and designer. So if you also, she does sewing classes for adults and for kids, and she actually has a sewing camp that she does during the summertime.
Nice.
So if you ever wanted to learn how to sew, contact this young lady right here, and she will, and follow her so you can make sure you stay updated on the stuff that she's doing. But she got a fashion show coming up.
I've reached out to her about modeling for her before.
Okay, well now this is your chance.
Mm-hmm.
Your chance.
Got some beautiful stuff.
Yeah, this is your chance.
Your chance. So the show is in September, but the casting call is July 19th. So yeah.
Can we talk about? Yep, we'll talk about it. We'll remind everybody next weekend. Next week, because we do have another show 2 days prior to the casting. Yep. So maybe we could get her on, Nisa, to talk about the casting and put it out there just for a few minutes. She don't have to stay long, and she can come on and just talk about our casting, talk about maybe what she's looking for, and things like that, and just what to be prepared for. If she's the only designer, or is she having other designers as well?
This is just her. That's the one thing during our conversation she was thinking about, like TLA type stuff. He was like, I don't know if I can do all of that. I said, no. Just do your line. Don't even worry about bringing nobody in. This is your first show.
Yeah. Do it by yourself. Yeah.
Keep it simple.
And she got time because the show isn't until September 20th.
September 20th. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I will definitely be at the casting. So I think I'm gonna be at the casting. I'm proud to be at the casting.
Be able to walk in some heels just for a little bit, I think.
Don't put them on until you're actually ready to walk.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was gonna do that anyway. But I'm just saying. I think I'll be able to do that. But yeah.
Listen, thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank y'all for constantly rocking with us. We have some of the best viewers. We have our good nights. We have our bad nights. But, no night is a bad night.
No bad night.
No night is a bad night. But we just ask that you guys continue to lift the Ladies Den up in prayer and just continue to support us. And we try to support everybody when we can. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And we will see you next Thursday. But please don't forget, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Ladies Den Podcast. And we'll see you guys next week.
Lady K, are you ready?
Hey, thank you for joining us in the Den. You can find us here live streaming every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you next week.
You got it locked into the Ladies Den. It's Lady K, Kiki too, plus the Bayou Diva. You know how they do. From breaking news to favorite foods. She was popping in the city, hot topics too. Advice for your issues if you need to grab a tissue. Just wait till a break, they may say something that'll fit you. Amazing guests live on set. You can laugh to your heart's content. They appreciate the love cause it's truly a blessing. My name's Saga Boss and I approve this message.
Ain't no room for hating, enjoy the entertainment.
the ladies den. Thursday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell them Saga sent you.